flesh, it's just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat, once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these, cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here's a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water. Why, around canning season, when you're preserving the fruits, to take the hot fruit jars out of the water like that, that machine is worth dollars to you. And here's another one that I really know you'll enjoy having in your kitchen, known as the safety grater. No doubt you're familiar with the old-fashioned grater. I've seen ladies take a grater and rip the knuckles off. When you want to grate up potatoes for delicious potato pancakes, this has a smooth, flat edge, impossible to cut yourself. Just like you were washing clothes, you rub it up and down, and you really grate your vegetables real fine, retaining all the flavors and all the juices. Breadcrumbs for when you're serving veal cutlets or anything like that. You want a little breadcrumbs to fry your fish in? Why, there's the greatest proposition in the world. Use that for coconut, cheese, or horseradish. When you're through with it, just hit it down like that. That knocks all the food out. Rinse it out in a little water and hang it up and let it dry. Now, here is a stone made of carborundum and sapphire quartz, which is made purposely to keep these knives sharp. When they get dull, a few strokes over the edge like this, and you can put a keen cutting edge on it. If you have a dull knife or a dull pair of scissors, an old sickle or a scythe, a lawnmower, cleaver, an axe, there's a tool that will really put an edge on the knife, so the knife will really cut for you. I just want to give you an idea of how sharp that knife really is when you sharpen it with that stone. Ladies, I've seen some of you try to open up cans. Now, there's a can of Campbell's baked beans. I've seen ladies open up a can and you poke a hole in it, go around the top, hippity-hop, and your finger slips. Let me show you a real proposition. Look, lay it on the can, lift up the safety, and turn the key. That locks itself on the can. No harder than you were winding up your watch. Wind up the key and that'll cut the top off of the can slick and smooth. Notice how the end raises itself up in the air so you can lift the lid off, giving you a clean, smooth edge. Now that can be used for sardine cans, square cans or round cans, exactly the same way. Now this tool here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven. I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven, catch a hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable. Twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness. Every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick. Drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. That will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it, makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12-piece fascinating... Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week, will receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's two curls out of the one potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the two colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. Upon my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat them. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in two. Serve them on the half shell just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a big piece like that. Now the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, You turn the potato and then you cut through the edge. First one way and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this. Drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast while they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the Champeen Vegetable Mincing Knife and Noodle Cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Why, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers when you want to chop up a little nuts for cake. Cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup. Making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat, once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these, cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here is a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water. Why, around canning season when you're preserving the fruit,
Thanks, Golden Stuff. Something changed both my mics here, and hopefully I got the right mic with the right settings here, because I'm guessing at which one's which. Morning, Golden, or afternoon, Golden Stuff. Let's see here. We got E2. I am doing quite lovely, other than a little hiccup here getting things started. Not quite sure what that is as far as that and that, but got all sorts of new things here with the whole new Stream Raiders up there. I just went through it in the last hour and added that overlay to all of my different scenes and everything. So that's new today for me, and so we'll probably have to work on the audio with that. I apologize if if it's too loud or something along that line, but please let me know. I can adjust things, I can change them. I'm gonna start by cutting up this chicken. I'm gonna use the chicken breasts tonight and the thighs and legs on Friday, when I'm gonna stuff some. I got 3 sweet peppers that I'm gonna stuff with. We'll make a chicken ragu out of the dark meat or thigh and leg. Still a little bit frozen here, but still pretty good. I got this one all right. It's better than half the time when it's still ice cold and crystallized or iced up. Or thank you, Golden Stuff. Hey Davey, how you doing today? So, tenderloin came off of that guy mostly. Hey, Pew. Said hi earlier, but I don't think the captions caught it. Thank you for the host, Karga. Carcass I'll freeze and throw out here, or freeze and use for stock in the future here. I still have plenty of chicken stock around right now, so it may be a while before I get back to doing that again. Unfortunately, because I could probably do a couple of long streams. You could use a couple of long streams here. Still attached. So, carcass for stock later on. And yay, spray washing my hands. My sink is sort of broke, and so it's stuck on the hose. It will be remedied by Friday, but I get to deal with only using the spray hose tonight. Should be fine. That was a good sign that we might have gotten the mics right there. My voice seems to be coming from the right side there, so I'm just going to throw all the rest of this in the fridge, not worry about it for right now. Actually, I'm not even going to do that because I don't have room in the fridge right now. But we're going to set this off to the side. And we'll use these for dinner tonight. And take the skin off of them. Not very thick guys for being a supermarket chicken, but I'm still gonna turn this into two here by slicing it thinly on a long bias. So we'll sort of have three here. I'll smash these guys together. These and these. Gonna get the chicken set and out of the way here, and then I'll come back to it later on. Just prep it ahead of time here. Plastic bag, and my favorite unitasker in the kitchen, my tenderizer. I'm not going to put it in the actual bag. I'm not going to worry about that. Maybe if you're worried about splatter or something like that, you can. Absolutely flattening these guys out. Oops, that was a little louder than I was thinking here. Let's turn this down for a second here. I think I'm going to live with that as it is. That guy can just go into the trash, and we'll give everything clean off here. Take this and set this off to the side here. Let that continue to dry with the fan blowing it towards me. Allow that to do that. Get some beautiful peaches for later on here. Gonna make a cake with those lovely things. I did have a fifth one here, but it spoiled on me already. I do have my second batch of tomatoes that I picked up out of the garden. Some of these are ripe, some of them are not. But letting all of them hang out here a little bit longer to ripen further. Also, still sort of small guys. I got a couple of larger guys coming up here along soon. But just our first, actually just my second pulling through. The first one was only a couple of tomatoes. So I'm not sure where I want to go with here next in terms of making things tonight here. I think I'm going to make the pasta here so that I can do that. Pasta first. So I'm going to rinse off a bunch of organic spinach here. Gonna need 3, 4, 5 ounces, somewhere in that ballpark, of spinach. Spinach is always dirty. It used to be, it's getting a lot better than it used to be, but it used to be you wanted to wash it at least like 3-4 times before you got all the sand and grit and nastiness out of it. But modern processing has improved that greatly. Alright. So I'm just going to be sitting here cleaning this. I'm going to start up the battle here in a second. So, anyone here joining new to the stream, I've just added Stream Raiders today, which is a VR interactive game. Let's pull up the game here and see what we got. Pretty much, we got, hey Entropy. Alright. Let's see how we do here. We may have a little trouble here, just the two of us. I'm going to try that one once again here. And we'll go at it the same way here once again. Oh, I don't have the overlay on here to show everything else here to you guys. I should add that too while we're here. So let's go back to main plus board here. We'll see how we go with there. Entropy, it may be that it kicks you back to the main menu when the battle begins to get you to go and see whichever streamer you're battling with. That way it sort of entices you to check out your overall army and oh, okay then. Probably don't need to take the stems off of this since I'm just going to be blending it up here, but still I don't like spinach stems in my food, so. It's worked pretty well for me. I've used it on a couple of browsers now. I toyed with it quite a bit before I decided adding it to the stream or even really giving it a shot on the stream. Oops. Skip that guy. He's not looking too hot. Parsley, anyone? I don't know if that's actually parsley or not. It looked like it off really quick off the head. Thank you for the host, Neo Rounds. So I'm going to give the spinach a quick blanch. then shock, and it's going to get pureed with the eggs and oil for our pasta. Gonna use some oil in the pasta tonight since I have olive oil for once. I don't always have olive oil around home. When I do, it's often nicer stuff for salads or that such. Okay. Good morning, camera. Nice and bright there. Yeah, might as well use olive oil for the whole thing. Get a ice bath going here. Close my bedroom door here, make sure we don't get any smoke alarms going off. And water with our changed some things up here with the whole scene. I moved my wine rack from over here to over here, and I set up my sous vide immersion circulator over here as a more permanent setup for that guy. Get a mixer in here, and I don't know where we're gonna put things around, but wine rack may disappear from the scene entirely here. Okay, we got a nice smoky pan there. Gonna add our spinach in. Just for a nice quick turnaround here. And into the ice bath. To lock in the temp and the flavor. Not really, mostly lock in the color. So while that is cooling off, I'll grab the blender here. these are extra large eggs. I didn't know that they were extra large. I used to go for the large eggs. I think it was a 2-egg recipe. Yep. Two eggs. Get my hands a rinse. Clean up the sink here real quick of all the spinach. Olive oil. I'm sorry I'm not reading chat right now if there's anyone saying anything right now. There we go. Cool. So now we're going to take what spinach we can quick grab out of this. This being the alternative to my normal way of making pasta, just mixing the eggs in with the flour and semolina. Today I'm going to be blending all this spinach up and then adding this blended mixture to our dry ingredients. Probably should have set myself a strainer here. It would have been a little bit quicker. I'm in no rush too. Hopefully everyone else is having a lovely day and just not in any sort of rush. I hate being in a rush. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Golden Stuff. Appreciate anyone hanging out, lurking, whatever you be. You too. So I'm gonna call that good. And give this a quick blend up here, meet up our mics and all that good stuff. If I didn't have, if my garlic powder wasn't so chonky right now, I probably should have added that a little bit earlier. That might be a good idea. A little garlic and spinach going on with your pasta. Okay, so now we need flour, and I'm going to do a little semolina, wherever that is hidden in here. Durum. So use the same bowl here. Dry out. Do a cup and a half of AP flour here to start, and a half cup of durum semolina. Durum semolina, not durum. So 3½ cups of white AP flour. Entropy gonna save my day on my second round here. And I'm just going to leave all the spinach in here. I could maybe strain this. Would probably be the safer bet, but I'm just going to go for it all in. Waste not, want not. I mean, I'm using this recipe over other recipes for that same reason too, because a lot of these spinach recipes are like, okay, blanch the spinach, and then you've got this perfectly blanched spinach. Let's dry this perfectly, because why? You're going to add a bunch of water in here anyways. Feeling like it's maybe a bit wet. We'll see. Definitely need more flour here. Trying not to add too much flour and dusting flour. I try and keep my pasta relatively the recipe. Grab some of these chunks though of dry flour and work them into the dough here early on. I don't know, you think we're gonna beat him this time, Entropy? I can't see the field. I have no idea what's been placed other than knowing that you've thrown one or two down. Still gonna keep adding flour here because this is still rather wet dough. It's not ridiculous, but I don't know what time it's getting to be here. 5:12, so we've been here 40 minutes. Okay. Don't want to leave that chicken out too long here. I'm not too worried about keeping my. I'm someone that leaves their proteins out without worrying too much, especially after working in restaurants. There to make money, not to. It's feeling pretty good here as far as the dough, but I'm gonna keep working it a bit further. Get that gluten going a bit more for our noodles. I like having this Stream Reader countdown timer on there. It's handy for sitting here when I gotta time out how long I've been needing something or something along that line. I'm always looking to. I've got an option for adding timers on there, but it's all the options that I've sort of seen for adding timers on streams have been rather clunky. Either I need a mod to sit there and do it for me, or I gotta enter in some time command, or none of them are just smooth and slick. And so just having a timer in a rather simple, elegant solution. Okay, I'm happy with that dough now. Gonna let that chill out in the fridge here. Gonna get my hands a rinse off, get all that flour off of them. Still maybe a little wet there, obviously, but we'll let him dry out in the fridge a little bit. Put our flour away. Yeah. May need more flour here for rolling it through. We'll see. And on to peaches. Peaches time. Probably gonna want to make my batter first, then get the peaches in the pan, then get it in the oven. Probably gonna want to get the oven going here pretty quick too, so that we have that ready to go. I'll guesstimate, haven't pre-planned this recipe at all. Well, I knew that was going to happen at some point. Refreshing. Cool. Let's look at this recipe, see what we got going on here. We got a battle to come up here too. Just another minute left. Get your last pieces on the board. Need butter getting room temp here. Give me 1 sec to finish reading this recipe before I start the... Let's see here. Need butter getting warmed up. We need 350 for the oven. And yeah, okay. So let's see how we're doing here with our Stream Raiders game here. Welcome, Yamaha Trader. So let's give ourselves a shot here, see what we get here with our second round. Ooh, we got some archers this time. I think we got this. Give the winner randomly. And let's see here. Let's collect our goodies for myself here. anyone new to the stream or just joining me now, this is my first time playing with Stream Raiders on stream. So first couple of rounds here, and don't know which way we want to go here. Let's see what our path is like here to the end. I don't think we're going to get to the end here tonight anyways. Why don't we go with this one? Let's choose the one in the center. And let's see, start with the tank again. And let's just run up right the center here. Go up after these top couple of guys here by the top pillar there. Okay, back to butter here. I'm gonna give this a quick nuke because I sort of need this to be ready. I want to get the cake batter ready before I start all the rest of this. So we're gonna take a stick of butter here, or half cup, or what is this? 113 grams. I love how horribly mismatched imperial and metric units are. Moved my microwave. If you follow my Twitter, I had my entire kitchen a mess yesterday because I took apart my entire pantry shelf and took the entire shelf rack apart and cleaned it all and put everything back and reorganized everything. So got things, hopefully, it was already pretty well organized as far as grab and go, but it's looking a lot cleaner and neater now. And the microwave is now lower down than it was before. Let's see if this is mashable. Yeah, okay, we're good. Good, there. Have I done the eggs yet? What are you referring to, Nanometer? Welcome back. Oh, the salt-cured eggs. No, I haven't started the salt-cured eggs yet. That's going to be later on. That's going to be relatively quick, though. It's relatively easy at this point. It's just putting them in salt and sugar and setting them aside. I think I'm going to start with a larger bowl with that for... Let's see if he was the same guy. He's got flour and pasta stuff in him. They'll be good for this. So, mashing our butter up to get it good. Three-quarters cup granulated sugar. Wasn't sure how much sugar I needed here because it's half in the cake recipe and half as a caramel we're going to be putting in the bottom of the skillet. So welcome back, car guy. How you doing this evening? Stuffed pepper should be Friday, I believe. Gonna be using the other half of the chicken. I cut up the chicken earlier. Got the legs and the thighs set aside. Gonna do that for with the stuffed peppers. We got our start of our dough for our peach cake here. We got spinach pasta dough already made and sitting in the fridge, ready to be rolled out. Vanilla. What other goodies are we throwing in with this here? I'm gonna throw salt in here. Always better to throw salt in with the wet ingredients. It seems to distribute it a bit better, in my opinion. What do we got for emotes here, car guy? Sock monkey. So we want some heavy vanilla in this cake, obviously, since it's sort of like moist cake to go with our moist peaches. Everyone's favorite word. Oh, okay. I'm familiar with Pretty to the Mat. They're one of my fellow former mixer streamers. The timer is for a new game I've started having here on stream. If you guys aren't familiar, Stream Raiders. If you go to streamcaptain.com, you can join in on the battle. That you can add a new player to the field every 5 minutes, and in roughly 22 minutes here, I'll be showing the results of the battle. The more you play, the more you get hooked in. There's experience for your characters. There's more characters you can get. You can all sorts of good stuff. It's a pretty cool sort of game. Matches up with streamers. Did you? That's cool. Add 2 eggs into our cake batter here, one at a time. Mix them in nicely. Nice. I think you were talking the other day that you were wanting to go. Or was that my bad advice to you? Gotta be careful where I put that thing. It's gonna keep spraying me. Nice. Yeah, I haven't seen Indies drag at all. I don't know if I've ever seen Indies drag. Or yeah, you were saying that it's a traveling drag race or something, weren't you? Sort of oven set 350 here. We're gonna need a little bit more longer here for getting our other stuff ready though. So let's get started on that. Let's get our caramel started. I'm gonna start that in a separate pan from the actual skillet I'm gonna cook this in. So we got that pan, the small guy there warming up here. And we'll get some sugar in him. Ooh, sorry to hear that, car guy. Well, hope you have a good day if you can't keep watching. Thanks for stopping by. Add a little butter in here with our melting. And yes, this is the butter that I used to coat the pan with yesterday. Going to take a piece of parchment. Fold it in half. Making a paper airplane? What's he doing? A little large. That's closer. So. Pour butter in the pan all up. You want this thing nice and slippery so that it falls right out when we're done here. Put our parchment in the bottom. Cut off this nastiness that I've got on the butter right now. Save it for something else later on here. And grease up the parchment too. We want this slippery. We don't want these peaches sticking to the bottom at all. Set this aside for the moment. Get in here with these this caramel we got going here. I ain't afraid of a little spinach in my caramel. I need some water. Obviously not getting hot enough here, so I'm turning the heat up a little bit more. Back to our cake batter here. cake flour this time. Quarter. That wasn't what I wanted to happen to my strainer. Oh well. I'm doing a cup here, but I'm using the quarter cup because small mouth on the jar of flour here. Melt, sugar, melt. Like this. They're set at the right time. Right. Volume, I was feeling like everything seems a little quiet to me today. Not sure why. Boop. Want that to cool down. That wasn't the right cast iron, but it wasn't ready to go into the other one. Or I wasn't ready for it to go in the other one. Okay, gonna let that set aside. And now it's time to do our peaches. Peach coming out of those nicely, or the pit coming out of that nicely. And let's see. I think I'm gonna see what we got here first. And I think I'm going to do thirds here. Nice thick slices. So you know there's some fruit in there. It's not just going to be thin slices of mush. Sure, I'm cutting that in the right direction, which I'm not. Oh well. Next step here is layering these guys in here. That is still warm. Taste the... I think I lucked out on that caramel. That was getting pretty dark pretty quick there. That's why I moved it here. Ooh, it's already nice and thickened on here. Ooh, caught that just in time. I think that's going to be lovely. We're going to pour that right over the top of our peaches here. Going to try and quickly move that by hand here. Please be very careful with sugar in hands. This, I think, is cool enough here that I can manage it, but I am experienced somewhat handling sugar, and you do not want to get hot sugar on your hands. It's okay here, sitting here on top of the peaches like this, because that's going to melt down to the bottom. We're going to have our batter on top of it, so we're good. Add a bit more salt to our layer there. Going to add a bunch of cinnamon and sugar too, because why not? Last 30 seconds. Actually, it's probably up for most of you and just hasn't caught up for me. I'm gonna finish doing the nutmeg here before I do the paddle though. battle ready. Give me a moment here to grab sugar. Give a sprinkle of unmelted, more like sugar in the raw sugar here. This is also for texture and effect. Alright, let's run our battle here. It sounded like we had some company joined in today. That sounds good. Alright, let's go. Entropy and Yamaha Trader joining me again. Random that out again. Congrats, Entropy. Do we go for the easier one or the harder one here, guys? I think I'm gonna go straight on through here. Okay, and so we wanna I am going to say I'm gonna start my guy here, right here in the center. I'm starting off with doing tanks all the time here. We do have a fair number of guys up here to the north, but we can work our way over there. Okay, back to making peach cake time. So we got our peaches, our cinnamon, our nutmeg, sugar, salt, our caramel, and now I'm going to put our cake batter over the top. Try and get as much of this flour in here as possible. I didn't want to work the overall batter too much though. Actually, I should double check this recipe. I missed something here. Yeah, I missed something here. So I'm going to try and pull up some of this cake batter and mix it with the two ingredients that I forgot to throw in there. There's both baking powder and baking soda in here. Oh hey, how convenient is that? It's like a caramel plate. So, I'm gonna add some baking powder and baking soda into this mixture here so that it actually leavens. Baking powder. Baking soda. And now that I'm sitting here and thinking about it, I'm going to add even something more into this. am going to zest and then juice this lemon in here. Mix that all over the top again, once again. This time for good. A little worried this is looking like it's maybe intended for a little bit smaller of a cast iron than I got here, but we should have some decent rise to this dough, so I just think it might be a little bit too thin for my taste. We shall see though. And so into the oven with this 350 degree oven, roughly 40 minutes. Okay. Let's clean up a little bit here. And I'm going to roll some pasta now. How's everyone doing this evening? Been sort of quiet tonight. Hopefully everyone's doing all right. Peach. Okay, he had dried up too much already. I put the pasta roller away? Yeah, I actually did. Didn't leave it out. Well, then again, I moved just about everything else in the house this week, so. Okay. that set, got that set. Open you up to the widest setting here. Let's get our pasta back out. I think that's going to be quite a bit of pasta here. Speaking of fresh pasta, I should get some water rolling. So we have something. It's going to take forever for the pan to come to a boil here, so might as well get that started here early. Definitely going to need some more flour here. I think Yamaha may be hooked by the game. It should be a relatively quick cook, so it shouldn't fade too much. But I did blanch and put the spinach in ice water so that it would hopefully lock in that color a little bit better. A minute here. If we got our water set here, actually maybe a little bit too much water. That's good. Set that guy over here. Set the wrong burner. See what we got. Starting to look better here. Certainly doing a lot better with my pasta these days than it was when I first started on streams. I didn't have a ton of pasta experience starting into streams, and so into streaming, and so sort of been working on learning that one a little bit here. Thank you for the host create mode. It's a little bit better with each pull through here. Of course, I keep adding a decent amount of flour through each pull here too. Spinach pasta. Yum, 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 yum. I like spinach. Doing spinach tonight, and Sunday I'm going to be doing a falling victim to a wine magazine advertising, but going to be making red wine pasta on Sunday. I'm gonna give that one more fold here. Okay, let's start scaling this down a little bit here. Yep, folding it in half again. It's just not feeling there for me yet. Needs more gluten development. As I spray half a handful of flour on myself. Making pasta tonight, Otter. How you doing tonight? Welcome back. Doing spinach pasta tonight. We're gonna do chicken parm. I'm gonna fry this chicken up a bit later here. Should actually find my. I'm gonna have to use the rotten lid here, but this is just putting off too much steam for me right now. So that's getting the cover. I'm sweating. Nice. Oh. If you have to get work done, I hope you don't get hooked into my new game there. Got another 9 minutes to place your characters on the field for battle. Oops, gotta go down the size here. Sort of takes a minute to get people hooked on it, or at least with me, it took me a good minute to get hooked on the game. I'm still sort of not 100% on it being a part of the stream long term, but we'll see how it works out here. Still a little sticky here with the dough. Gonna have to use a lot of flour for keeping it all separated once I start slicing it. Very end of this guy off because he's sort of ugly. Yeah, Amazon and VPNs are sort of me. Amazon very much hates VPNs. I find that with a lot of their video services, not just Twitch. Whether it's their Prime Video or whether it's one of the many services that uses Amazon in the back end, like Formula One races, Formula1.com. How's things going otherwise, Otter? What are you working on? What's project of the day? Yeah, a lot of it's, I've been following it pretty closely here for, I'd say 3 seasons now. And, I'm still learning a lot. This whole, I don't think we're gonna find out the results of this whole, Racing Point, stealing tech deal for many months. I think that's gonna end up playing out in courts now. Yeah, so nice. I am not so familiar with him, so I'm familiar of it, but not with it. So now I'm going to cut all the pasta. I'm going to use the larger sort of, I don't want to say that it's necessarily linguine, but it's about a linguine size or thickness or width. Causes of crevice corrosion and basic prevention measures. Oh. Oil in your metal. Ooh, we have a battle. Okay, battle time. We got Entropy, Yamaha, and Otter joining us for tonight's battle. Going for all three directions for the fight for the center here. Wow, whose rogue was that up at the top? It just went straight for that chest. Yamaha. Woohoo! Victory. Random rewards. Going to be going over around here, and Entropy joins in. I'm gonna give the reward to him to Yamaha, because he keeps doing it in here, but Entropy's getting all the wins. Let's see here. Let's see how my army's doing, if I can't upgrade anything yet. Not quite. Okay, next campaign. Ooh, hard one. Go up the right side this time. Alright, back to rolling. Upside down cake is in the oven. We got another 13 minutes about until I check on it for the first time. And who knows if it'll be ready that first time or not. It is smelling quite cake-like in here right now, which is quite nice. Lemony cake, nice. I'm glad I added that lemon in there last minute. I think that's going to do well. let's go. Ugh. I don't have it on my stream manager thing. I have to find it and add it to the button. There we go. I have so many emotes, I have no idea what... I can't even keep track of them, they keep coming and going because I keep getting gifted subs. And so one day I'll have a new set of emotes and the next day I won't. And some of them are for people that I have never seen before and have no real giant interest in watching, unfortunately. Not that there isn't a lot of great stuff to watch. I do watch a ton of stuff, but... like that one dude playing Valorant earlier today with 500,000 viewers. Or 250,000 viewers at least. Ridiculous the numbers that some of these streamers are getting these days on Twitch. And it's just going to keep growing too. I mean, it's having its growth pains, but streaming's here to stay. People be laughing at me, they've been streaming for 10 years, but same thing, Otter. I watch I used to watch a ton of YouTube. I watch next to no YouTube now. It's basically Formula One hockey and streaming. Occasionally I still watch a little YouTube, but not much. Well, interview, there's actually, I don't have them enabled, but some of these streaming programs and stuff like Stream Elements have games and stuff for people that can get the right emotes out in the right amount of time and the right style and all that stuff. They're not enabled in my room, and I'm not overwhelmed by the idea of them, but they exist. So we got ourselves some spinach pasta here. That's gonna hang out while we finish our chicken. Our peach cake is probably getting somewhat close here. I'm gonna need some flour here for our chicken. Let's see, I got enough flour on me now. Breadcrumbs and egg. Fried chicken, yum yum. So I'm gonna cheat. Use some pre-made poultry seasoning here tonight. I'm cheating in two ways tonight. This is the first one. Using a pre-made spice mix because, well, my onion and garlic powder is sort of nasty still. Nice. Yeah. I want it seasoned, so I'm adding seasoning here. Add some cayenne on top of that and the eggs. You can already smell the rosemary we got going here, so I'm a little worried we're over rosemaried. But we got our salt in there. Got our MSG. Bit of fresh cracked black pepper. And check our cake here in a moment. That was what the timer was for. Let's move two of these guys away in case we got move the cake over here. See what we got first. We'll be ready to put it out if it's ready. Think we may be ready here. Yeah. Think we may be ready here. We got some nice brownage here. Decent bounce back. Maybe a little soft in the center, but that's going to carry over, I think. I'm happy with that. I think I should have probably done a little bit more batter for it. I think it should have been maybe a little bit more of a cake, but I think that's going to be good. And it looks like our one top slice of peach here topped out, so that's looking to me like that one extra piece of peach that I put up on the top in the center. So I'm going to put this over on the stove to continue cooling down. Turn our oven off now. And I'm going to get some oil going in this pan here for our chicken. Going to need a pan with a wire rack for our chicken. Water's basically ready for our pasta, but I'm not ready for that. I do have my second cheat of the evening. I'm actually going to start now. And this way you can actually see what I'm doing here. We have our pie cooling, or our cake cooling down back there. We have my second cheat here, a pre-made tomato sauce. In the back going here with that, and our water's ready. Actually, I'm going to take the lid off of that, even though it's going to make the room hot again. Not happy about that, but we'll survive. I'll survive. set with this, we're set with this, we're set with this. Got the cake out of the oven, got that ready to go. I didn't plan my time in here very well, so I think I'm going to do the egg yolks here now. For those that were hopeful to check those out, all we need here is a nice container for holding. I'm going to do 4 egg yolks. And along with that, I need a bowl. Going to be using kosher salt and sugar. I think it's relatively even amounts here. Let me double check our ratio here for sugar and salt. It's roughly the same, maybe slightly heavier on the salt than the sugar. But this does take a bunch of salt and sugar. So I'm going to do a heaping cup of salt. And a cup of sugar. Let me actually take you off the counter here. Okay, cup of sugar. Give those a good mix up here. I've seen people add other things into their essentially curing mix here. I don't think the flavors of the aromatics in this case is going to add a whole lot to the eggs. They are great. They are great for salads. They're great for topping. They're great for primarily for adding a bunch of eggy umami flavor to anything almost along the lines of Parmesan cheese once they're dried. It's really sort of cool. So we got our mixture here, and I'm gonna create sort of 4 spots here for our yolks. Reserving some of the leftovers for on top. Pasta sauce is nice and hot. How's our oil looking here? Oil is getting up there. Cake is looking nice. It collapsed a little bit, but I think it's just going to be fine. Especially since it's upside down cake that's going to get turned over here sometime. I'm going to let that cool. I want to let that come down at least close to room temp to let all that sugar sort of solidify a little bit on the bottom. So this is not going to be one of those, you know, hot out of the oven. It's probably actually one of those it's better left to be completely cooled and maybe slightly warmed back up. Eggs. Gonna grab the large eggs this time and not the extra large ones. Separate our egg whites out from our yolks. Oh, we have a broken yolk right off the bat. I'm not even going to bother trying with him. Yamaha sticking along with us here. That one got sliced too, but nope, I'm not even going to bother with him either. Not having good luck here with our egg yolks to start. Thankfully, I can obviously use those eggs for something else. Perfectly good still. Just not for this. Plop. That one broke too. Yep. Welcome, class. How you doing this evening? I am doing pretty dandy tonight. Got our first night of Stream Raiders gaming going on the stream, and I'm working on curing some egg yolks. I've got chicken and ready to go and get fried. I've got pasta all done. I've got a beautiful peach cake in the background here on the back of the stove. Looking pretty good here tonight. On the TV, I heard you were having microphone issues. What's wrong? Heard, I mean I read. Set that aside for the moment. So we're going to take the rest of our curing mixture here and just cover over our eggs carefully. Going to give that a plastic wrap and put that in the fridge until Friday. On Friday, I'll take the egg yolks back out. I will actually rinse them underwater. They will be hard, and they'll feel like a sort of soft cheese. It's sort of a hard to describe what it's like, but sort of like a cooked egg yolk almost, but a little bit more slimy. Rinse all that salt, rinse all the sugar off of them, and then throw them in my dehydrator, or if you don't have a dehydrator, throw them in a warm oven for an hour and a half, 2 hours to dry back out entirely from your rinse off. And you have this great product that you can add that rich egg yolky umami like flavor to salads or all sorts of things. I'm hoping to use it for Friday for dinner on sorry, I said Friday, on Sunday. I'm gonna be drying these off. And maybe I'll use this as a garnish on Sunday's dinner. If not on Sunday's dinner, definitely for the week after, which I have yet to plan again. I think I'm finally out of plastic wrap. Oh, we got another battle. I think I'm finally out. I mean, I've had that thing, I think I moved out here with that. I think I've had that container of plastic wrap for over a decade. Rip plastic wrap. Alright, so we're coming back to you on Sunday. Better part of a week. Let's check our temps here. I could smell that pasta was getting nice and warm. Ooh, we're nice 300 degrees here. I'm gonna move the cake off of the pan, off of the stove now. Mix our flour up here and we'll get started with our chicken. Got our breadcrumbs and seasoning, we got egg and seasoning, we got flour and seasoning, and we got heavily pounded chicken. Heavily pounded. Oh, and I went and forgot my stream rate already. Let's go do that. Let's do our stream rate. Welcome, no response. Yeah, I think Yamaha deserves that one anyways. He got all the kills. I got a Centurion. Continuing our path just straight through. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. We got a silver chest with barbarian dude, silver chest with spiders. I don't like spiders. I think I'm gonna go with Barbarian, dude. It's not giving me the option to take it though. Oh, I'm at this one now. Okay, sorry. New to this. We'll come back for the big guy at the end. Okay, we getting too hot here with our oil? What's our oil at here? Yeah, we're getting a little warm with the oil here, so I'm going to turn the temp down on that even more. And we'll go back to... For that battle, yeah. Started a new one there, we got a new timer going. Is that light or no? I'm not sure what you mean by that. See if I can get away with not using my hands at all here. We want to make sure we don't have any flour bubbles going. Oh, it's still light here. It stays light here pretty late, but I mean, it's 7 o'clock here. So it shouldn't be light for much longer, but... No, I didn't add any cheese in with the breadcrumbs. Which is not traditional. There's tons of cheese in Parmesan, chicken Parmesan. I'm going to use it all on the top. Do it all on the top, rather. Check our temp's still good here. Should be. Yeah, we've gone down a little bit, but we're still 340, 350-ish. Now turn the heat back up and add our first guy into the oil, dropping him away from me. And flip that over there so that gets all cooked nice and yummy. But I could very easily just add a bunch of Parmesan cheese in right here. I don't really like adding a ton of cheese in with my frying because it just doesn't work well with frying. I mean, it's an easy way to get some golden color, but it's also easy to burn your crust. Flour in this is going to do much better in that respect. I'm not saying that cheese doesn't work, I'm just saying that I'm just not a fan of it. Sort of combining my two tenderloins here into one piece of chicken here. We'll hope it somewhat sticks. We're sort of using our batter as glue to hold it all together. things not working too well, we may just do them separate. Anyone yelling at me, you can't see the stove. The stuff's frying. I'm gonna call that guy done. Hit him with a bit of fine salt after frying. And I'm gonna throw that down in the oven to stay warm and crispy. Don't have the oven on anymore, but it's still warm from doing the cake earlier. I always seem to underestimate the amount of breadcrumbs I need, or one of them. I never get all three right in the running process. I'm always short on one of them. Those guys are probably done now. Center guy at least. Gotta be getting close. All three of these should be getting pretty close here. Oh yeah, I see why you're asking if it was daylight. I got sun. It's that time of night when I get the sun coming in my door. Sea salt, or ground fine salt, down in the oven. guy a flip. I think it's time to try and flip this pie out here. Or cake. It's not a pie, it's a cake. Still warm, but I got the ooh, liking the look of that. That's looking pretty right there. Like perfectly fits the plate too. Give you guys a close up here. Looking nice and tasty there. Oh, and you can't see that because I have it on the main screen. Chicken close up. Leaving the pan here a second to warm back up. It had gotten a little below 300. We want that a little warmer. But I think we can still throw this in here. Yeah. Oops. Need you one last time. It's getting noisy over there. You can definitely smell there's definitely rosemary in with the seasoning mix here. I can smell lots of rosemary with this. Last pieces of chicken here. Small guy, try. Good stuff. Good stuff. Steal a shot of the cake there while we're waiting on the last of that there to fry here. That'll look nicer later. Yeah, that's a nice one. Forgetting the 3 sizes that I have offhand. I have this guy that's even smaller. But yeah, good cast iron is hard to beat. Maybe better options if you're doing like you get yourself an induction range or something pretty and pricey like that. But otherwise, cast iron's pretty much it. Hit that up with a little bit more fine salt, and we'll throw all this deliciousness back into the oven to hang out for a moment. Gonna move the oil to the back burner, so that's not a worry anymore. Tomorrow morning I'll give that a slight rewarm just so it flows real nice, maybe up around 100 degrees, and then I'll pass it through a coffee filter and save that for use once again. Frying oil is always good to save economically. Yeah, I can do that too. Today I more wanted the large one for the cake. Otherwise I probably would have fried in the large one. For me, since I'm going to reuse the oil, that's oil that I've already used for frying this same sort of a thing. Yeah. Wasn't too worried about it. Paper towel. It's a good thing I just got a whole new case of paper towel. Well, the problem with the coffee filter is it does have to be warm. Oil is not going to pass through a cold coffee filter. So, do you want to warm it up? You don't want it completely cold, but you don't want it above, like, say 120 or so. So we need some mozzarella for on top of our chicken. And I'm debating how I want to do this. So I want to pull all the chicken. I don't know if I want to do all the chicken tonight. I think I only want to do a couple of the pieces of chicken as far as saucing and cheesing. Yes, our chicken's going to be cheesing tonight. Yeah, that's the thing, is the sauce. Chicken parm's an a la minute dish. It's finished and served. It's not going to be good to leave the sauce on top of that. Even though chicken parm left over from the restaurant is typically pretty good. Well, this isn't going to be rubber cheese because I'm using real mozzarella, but yeah. I get what you're going with that. It's not Buffalo's milk mozzarella for you real mozzarella real fans, but it's better than what Domino's probably has on their pizza. So I'm going to turn the oven back on. We got our cheese here. And let's get one more pan dirty. Why not? Let's turn our water way back up high here. Get our water boiling again. Seems like I lost most of that boil, unfortunately. And I'm gonna take you, you for tonight. I think that's enough cheese for 3 pieces. I'm going to end up eating all these small pieces before it's even time to... Oh, good. That's why all Italian food is supposed to be served, isn't it? I made quite the mess tonight. I didn't clean up hardly anything because I'm annoyed with that sink. Guess I'm having scrambled eggs later this week too. At least I got bacon for it. So our cake's ready. Our sauce is ready. We're waiting on our water to boil again here. Oh, we got another battle. Just good timing here. Oops. Trying to spray that a little too far there. So why don't we do our stream battle here? All sorts of people back in here. Welcome back, Yamaha, and no response, auto and entropy. I think that's taken out quick. Who's got the Crystal Warrior? No response. Bone Paladin too. Way to go, Rogue. Let's give that to Yamaha again. They did pretty well. And I think I'm going to take the Barbarian like I was thinking I was going to last time. And I'm going to go with the tank again. And right in the center. And that'll probably be the... that's probably going to be the last one of the night. I might start one more and then raid someone and finish it off after stream, but I think this is going to be the last full round here on stream. Come on, water, boil. I'm watching you, but I know. You're supposed to boil anyways. And because we need to have Parmesan to make it chicken Parmesan, we have some ground Parmesan here too. Gonna crank that oven up here now. Get that going good here for this. I'm mostly waiting to get our pasta going. A bowl with some oil would be good for our pasta because it's gonna be fresh pasta and I'm gonna be holding it. I have no room tonight. I have too many things going on at once here in the kitchen tonight. A little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Give that a coat in the bowl here. And the noodles are done. I'll just give them a toss in there. Won't have to worry about cooking them too much. We all doing all right tonight? Everything going all right for everyone else in the world? Got yet another F1 race this weekend. Looking forward to that. I'm loving this condensed racing pattern, which I think Liberty Media's have wanting to keep half of it. They want to add so many new races, which is good and bad. I'd like to see a couple more US races. They won't be in the US this year. They've canceled the US, Canadian, all of America's races have been canceled this year. I think Canada's more a logistics thing. I think Mexico and the U.S. they felt they couldn't be safe in. The logistics being, I don't think they wanted to go to Canada by itself because you have to ship everything across the ocean. I do think they're going to hit up South America. A lot of them, they're doing arrangements like straight up with the governments for them. Like the first one I know, the Austrian one, they had a military airport like right next to the racetrack, and so it was literally they flew everyone into the military airport. It was all right there. They're all operating. It's sort of odd and sort of funny to watch them as a whole because they are. Like if you watch the free practice 1 or the free practice 2, you'll see a lot of people not wearing masks and not worrying so much stuff, and it's because they're already all in a huge bubble. The whole race itself is isolated, as well as individual teams are isolated, as well as individual segments of individual teams are isolated. And so for like free practice 1 and 2, where they're just operating in their same normal bubble and there aren't any visitors to the track or anything, they're sort of haphazard and not caring about it too much. But if you start seeing free practice 3 and qualifying and the actual practice, when you get all the actual like bosses around and other people coming into the track just for the day, everyone's got their mask on, everyone's being careful. So our oven's up to temp, our pasta sauce is ready, our chicken's ready, we're just waiting on this water. I let this water get way too cold. But yeah, I'm sort of thinking they might be canceling the Australian race now too. China was delayed and it's up in the air if that's going to happen too, but still happy with all these back-to-backs. I like it. It's normally a regular weekend on, weekend off. If Otter, for you being new to, it's normally a weekend on, weekend off sort of a thing most of the season. You'll have a couple back-to-backs in the early part in summer, and you'll also have summer break where there's a 3 or 4 week gap in the middle of the season. It basically almost goes the whole year. So there's a couple months off there for their winter break, but it's pretty much a solid season going week on, week off. Yeah, it's pretty, yeah. And there's some things that they're obviously skipping, and there's some things that they're changing because of all of this. They're obviously they don't have to prepare for all the crowds and all the people, but normally their caravans, those giant offices they essentially build at every race, are much more decked out, are much more set up for people. But enjoying this greatly. It's got so many other odd things. It's got so many cool things that have thrown wrenches into the season. Like normally at this point they've decided on their schedule for next year, and they're still trying to figure out this year. So, but next year we've got the rules being pushed back because of this. We've got Fernando Alonso going to be back in a racing seat, which is like, what? Nico is doing awesome. I'm glad it looks like he may get a spot here in Alfa Romeo. Came out this week, that Hulkenberg was actually Mercedes' number 1 choice if they couldn't get Hamilton, that's sort of nuts for who could have been the best racer in the track with the best car is now struggling to even find a seat. Anyone just joining us? We're waiting on our water to come back up to a boil here, which is sounding like we're getting close here. Do up my spinach pasta, and then once the pasta's cooked, I'm gonna throw the chicken in the oven. We'll be off to the races and ready for dinner. Oh, what do we got going? Oh! Hello, Games and Tunes. Thank you for that raid. Hello, weirdos. Fellow weirdos. Hopefully you had a great stream. What were you up to? For those of us joining us, I've got a peach cake here that I just finishing cooling here. Fresh peach cake. They came out nicely. We have some homemade spinach pasta that I'm just about ready to throw in the oven here. We have my choice of the fried chicken that I'm going to use for our Parmesan. And here goes our first batch of pasta into the water. Nice! That seems to be the hit right now. Everyone seems to be playing Fall Guys. It seems like a really fun game too. I don't have a console, so I haven't gotten into it, but it's sort of a simple light cake with some lemon zest and lemon juice in there. The peaches, there was also a caramel to go along with the peaches that's coated in here, and that's some of our color in there. Let's take a look at our pasta. Our pasta's probably close here. Since it's fresh pasta, it doesn't need long to cook. Where did I hide those? There they are. Sort of hard to see, but I cured some egg yolks for later on in this week, so we're gonna do cured egg yolks. Gonna dry those out and use those on top of dishes as garnishes here in the near future. So I got a bowl here with a little oil in it ahead of time with my pasta, since I am planning on holding this pasta a little bit here, so normally you don't really want to hold fresh pasta, you just want to cook it and serve it. But that is not going to work out for me organizationally tonight. I am trying out a new game here. Those who have been around Twitch for a while have probably recognized Stream Raiders, but those from Mixer may not be familiar. And so it's if you see the timer there going on my stream next to the boiling water, and you go over to streamcaptain.com, you select me as your captain. You can have multiple captains. You can join in and join the battle, allow you to add a new character to the battlefield once every 5 minutes. And once every 30 minutes we roll a new battle. And so this is my first stream trying that out and seeing how that works. seems to have worked out pretty well here. We've got 5 or 6 people playing right now. I'm going to do the other batch of pasta here too. And while that's in there, I'm going to quickly do Parmesan. I'm going to throw a little bit of our sauce on top of each one of these guys. I got my oven absolutely cranked right now. If you got a good broiler or something along that line, this is the time to use that. You got some shredded mozzarella. Do you have any people trying to sabotage you this time? I'm now remembering your Twitter post from earlier this week. And by the way, how was your vacation? Welcome back from your break. Hopefully you're nicely refreshed, games and tunes. And what the heck? Add a touch more olive oil here to my pasta, just so that when we add this second bunch, it continues to be nice and loose. Getting hampered by my hood here. My pieces of pasta are too tall for my hood lid, so I'm hitting the roof. Cut the heat on that. Give this another good toss. And throw our chicken in the oven. Thank you for the follow there. Let's be deluxe. Appreciate that. Also, for anyone new here to the channel, hello, I'm Jason. Nice to meet you. I cook here on Twitch 3 nights a week, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Tonight I'm wrapping up a chicken parmesan with spinach noodles and our peach cake. Tomorrow on Friday, I'm going to be doing stuffed peppers with a chicken ragu, and on Sunday I'm going to be doing a red wine pasta. And I think I have there that it's going to be lamb on my upcoming things. I got a deal on short ribs, so I think I'm going to do beef short rib with that instead of the lamb. But that's what's coming up here. And normally I have closer to 2 weeks here. We're sort of in between here. I'll have another week of info here once I figure that all out and put that back. Put that up there for you to see. Getting close on our chicken. Add a little sauce to our pasta here. Just a simple tomato basil pasta sauce. Okay. Cut the oven. Give you guys a closer board view here. And I think I'll go for one of these guys and a small one. One of the big guys, one of the small ones for with this. There we go. I don't have room for anything anymore still. Awesome. So I got pasta, cheese. Let me give you a close-up on that. We got our cake here, which this is still warm enough that I'm a little too worried to cut into this still. I'm gonna give that a little bit longer here. Gonna cut that off stream. Pictures as usual on Instagrams. Got another 7 minutes here to go on the Stream Raiders. I think I'm going to find someone here to raid with all these lovely people, and thank you for the raid games and tunes. I will finish up that game off stream here, and I think it's been enough of a hit here that we'll keep on going with it. Let's see here who's online and available to give some love to here. Work on taking a photo here while we're waiting on everything else. Awesome. So let's see here. Who can we send some love to? Oh, why don't we go over to Ty? Awesome. So I'm gonna rate Thai Cooking. If you guys aren't familiar, this is a husband-wife team, or at least a couple. I'm not 100% sure if they're married, but lovely couple. They do a wide range of foods. He does a lot more of Asian cooking. He does some fermentation. He's done meats like I had in the past, and some really knowledgeable. He's doing he's fermenting soy right now. Really cool stream, so I hope you guys give him a check out, give him some love. It's the first time I've rated him, so hope you guys all enjoy. Have a great night. Thank you for joining me tonight.